Hey guys, it's me, Latoria, Tori again. I just want to be real with you. In my last post on here, titled My Testimony, I did give you my testimony, but I didn't give you the extent of it. When I mentioned that I hit rock bottom and my mom decided to put me in Christian counseling, I think I need to display how serious it was. Throughout the first 2 years of that relationship that I was in, my 8th grade year through my sophomore year, I started cutting my forearms really bad, and I would just wear long sleeves to cover it up. I got to the point where I wore baggy clothes all the time, and I always wore black. I guess you could say I was a goth. I don't know if I would characterize myself as that. I never saw myself as that, but I guess I was. My freshman year, I put all my time and effort into sports, and when I tore my ACL, it kind of seemed like, okay, that's taken away from me. I have to find something else to focus on. So I focused on school. I had to have at least a 4.0 GPA. My parents have always strived for me to have good grades, but I put an even higher standard on myself and decided I had to be valedictorian in my graduating class. Sophomore year, it continued. I was no longer playing sports, so I put all my time and effort into grades. Things got a little better my junior year. I ended up telling my boyfriend about cutting, and he told me not to do it anymore, and we talked about it, and I promised him that I wouldn't do it. But once again, it wasn't because I felt that God didn't want me to do it. It's because my boyfriend didn't want me to. So everything was fine for about a year, a little over a year. And then when me and my boyfriend broke up, the beginning of senior year, I hit that state of depression again. One, because I didn't have someone to be accountable to be like, hey, are you okay? And because, like I said, he had taken the place of God in my life, so I couldn't handle it. I felt alone, and it got so bad this time. I sat in my room one night with 4 or 5 sleeping pills and some migraine medicine, some Zoloft, some naproxen, some Lortab, all kinds of pills, about 13. And I had already written a letter to my parents. I took the medicine, and I was planning on putting the letters out, but by the grace of God, I didn't die. All it did was knock me out for 12 hours, and of course my parents thought nothing about it because it was a weekend night. I tried again and again, but after that I just couldn't bring myself to take them. And my parents were at work one day, and I got a gun out of the top drawer of my dad's dresser. And I thank God every day that despite the fact that I am a Southern girl, my parents never taught me how to shoot a gun besides a BB gun, because I would have died that day. I called my ex and I asked him how to shoot a gun. Of course, he figured out. He showed up at my house and took it from me. He told my mom, and that's when she decided that I need to go to counseling. And there wasn't a day that went by for a long time, for 3 or 4 months, that I wanted to be alive. Even after I had finished counseling, there were still days when Satan would attack me. And I I'm sorry. I wanted to give up. My mom has had ovarian cancer since I was 9 years old, and for a long time I've had to be the strong one in the family, and I had to grow up very fast. And I was sick of that. I was sick of feeling like I had to be there for everyone else. But when I needed someone, no one was there for me. And the last person I wanted to talk to was God, because I blamed him for everything that had happened to me, everything. My mom's sickness, my relationship that had gone down the drain, my knee being blown out, me not having perfect grades, anything you can think of, I blamed him. And I wanted to be done. I was through. And in January, things finally started getting better. But then in March, this guy came into my life. And I don't know. I don't believe God is going to put us together. But I thank God that he was in my life, because if God hadn't put him there, I wouldn't be at the college I'm at. Because I found out he was going here, and so I was like, hey, let's be together and go to college together. Even though I had visited here the year before and I knew that's where God wanted me to be. But at the time, boyfriend was number one again, and God was like just a bonus, even though I told everyone it was the other way around. Well, we broke up in June, and I was angry with God again because he had taken another relationship from me. And I came to this college knowing 4 people, one of which was my ex, one his best friend, and one a girl that I graduated with that we don't really talk, and my roommate that I had met once before school started. And up until about a month ago, I was furious with God. I was putting on this front like I was perfect, and here I was, the worst out of a lot of people. And I finally broke down, and I cried, and I told God I was tired of being the strong one. I was tired, and I didn't know where I was supposed to be, and I felt like I wasn't here, and why did he bring me here? And I fell literally on my face at the foot of the cross in front of the chapel here. And I can't say I've heard God's voice audibly very much in my life, but I did that night. The loudest he had ever spoken to me. He said, "You're right where you're supposed to be. Don't worry about the future. I've got this." And that was a relief. It's still hard. Like I said, chemistry, ugh. But God has definitely taught me multiple times that I need to rely on him. And third time's a charm. So, I just want to be real with y'all and let y'all know the extent of my testimony and that year or so that I was really struggling. I have been cut free for almost a year. Well, yeah, almost a year now. It'll be a year in November, which is next month. So I thank God for that. I know he must have some great plans for me if he gave me so many chances when I tried to end my own life. He definitely had his hand on me. And I hope that this testimony has been a witness to somebody, so that someone can know that he won't give up on you. However You have to try. God's only going to help those that'll help themselves. You have to want to live. You have to want this life. You have to want to carry out His plan on your life. So I hope this touches y'all, and guess I'll see y'all later. I'm praying for you. Please keep me in your prayers also. Thanks.